ranking the top 25 players in Major League Baseball 5 years from now. James, this one's an exciting one. I'm interested to see what your list looks like. I actually think for once we might have different opinions here. I feel like mine's a little bit chaotic. I'm not sure how yours look. Before we get going into it, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Shout out all the new members. If you want to become one and get early access to the videos, along with other perks, link will be in the description. You can go ahead and click that join button. James, let's get it started. Tell us who's your number 25.
I thought this was kind of a chalky exercise. When I went through it, I didn't really have that many difficult decisions. I didn't have that many guys I wish I could have snuck on, but wasn't able to. This is probably one of my weirder picks. My number 25. One of only a few pitchers on here is Chase Burns.
Ooh.
I'm a stuff man at the end of the day, and Chase Burns, I know the ERA was bloated ugly as a rookie, that really bad inning against the Red Sox, but the 100-mile-an-hour fastball cut right on it with a crazy slider. He's going to work on developing more pitches. He might not even need more pitches. Like, I think he profiles as one of the best pitchers in baseball heading into this year. Truthfully, it's going to be a bold take of mine, and 5 years from now, I think he's going to be an unquestioned ace.
I absolutely love that take. I actually had him because we were going to do sleepers at the end. He was my sleeper pitcher that I couldn't find a way to get onto the top 25, but I wouldn't be shocked if he's already going to be a top 50 player by the end of this season. The stuff's ridiculous. He had one bad start against the Red Sox in 2025. That blew up his ERA. Otherwise, he was phenomenal. The stuff's ridiculously good.
He had some other not-so-good starts, but the strikeouts were there. Like that,
he just didn't go deep into games, too.
Yeah, seeing that swing and miss is what mattered for him as a rookie. Like, getting to the league a year after being drafted was crazy. He profiles to be, again, one of the best pitchers in baseball for years to come.
Yeah, I did not put him, though, at number 25. I also did go with a pitcher here. I went with Tarek Skubal. I just think at 33...
He's way higher on my list.
Yeah, I 33, 34. Again, pitchers I do a little bit weirder. I don't really put that many guys too far up. But I do think at 33, he's still going to be one of the best pitchers in baseball. Pitchers don't age the same way that hitters do. Again, my list is more hitter-focused than pitcher because it really is so hard to project what a pitcher could look like in 5 years. But Skubal is one of those guys that I think even like an okay version of him 5 years from now when he's 33 is going to be one of the best pitchers in baseball, competing for Cy Youngs every year.
Again, Skubal's on my list, and he's much higher. I don't think there's going to be any slowing down from Tarek Skubal. But my number 24, I wonder if you have this guy on your list. Pete Crow Armstrong.
I do not have Pete Crow Armstrong on my list. I think Pete Crow is great. I think he's awesome. He's a great defensive center fielder. The second half where he just couldn't hit again, that scares me a little bit. He was so bad the second half of the year. The first half was incredible. Second half, I think the league kind of figured out. He's going to need to make some adjustments, I think, to truly get there. And again, we might be doing our rankings a little bit differently. I'm not going off of like who's going to have the highest WAR. I'm just going off of who I think are like the 25 biggest impact player type guys.
Yeah, I'm thinking almost no matter what that he will still be one of the biggest impact guys because when he's 28 years old, 5 years from now, like he's still going to be. I'd be shocked if he wasn't one of the 5 best overall defenders in baseball. And if you're
for sure
one of the 5 best overall defenders in baseball, and you can still I still think he'll be basically a 30-30 guy every year, even if there's no true growth with him in his plate approach. If he's a 750 OPS guy who could contend for 30-30 while playing the best defense in the sport, like there's no way you're not one of the most 25 valuable players. That's why I had him, again, towards the back of this. If you were to project any skill growth for Pico Armstrong, just finding the discipline, the approach in any way, he probably should be in the top 10. And this is me as not that big of a Pico Armstrong believer, almost thinking his average outcome is one of the 25 best players in the sport.
He was on my short list of guys, and I just cut him because, again, just the plate discipline right now. Until that changes, I think he's a fringe guy, and he just didn't make it on the list. For me at number 24, I put some prospects on this list because 5 years from now, a lot of these guys who are close to Major League ready, they're going to be like in arbitration years. These could be legit impact players, and I do think Walker Jenkins of the Minnesota Twins, number 24. That's my guy. Loved him out of the draft. I think he's a really good ball player. It's going to be reliant on him being in center field. I think that is going to be the biggest thing for him to become a top 25 player is if he can play center field at the Major League level. It seems like he could be more of a corner guy, but I do think he's a good enough athlete. He's just dealt with some injuries, but I love the bat. I love the bat so much, and he gets on base like crazy.
Just considering the fact that he's going to be graduating probably in the next 2 years on the Twins team with also Emmanuel Rodriguez, who's the better defender of those two?
I'm honestly not sure. That'll be something that I think will even itself out. I think there are good reasons to have Walker Jenkins. He flies. I think there's good reason to have Emmanuel Rodriguez. Might be getting better reads, might actually have a better range in center field than a guy like Walker Jenkins. But I think both of them are quite good. Like, you'll be happy with those two guys roaming the outfield, whether it's center field, right field, left field, whatever it is. You're going to be able to cover a lot.
Yeah, I know Emmanuel has been lauded as the better defender. I'm trying to see right now last year how much center field. Oh, Walker Jenkins did get 19 games, 150 innings center field.
He just hasn't played much. That's the thing.
Yeah, I didn't even have him in my honorable mentions. I definitely stayed more so of like the young elite players in Major League Baseball because these guys stay good long.
Of
Like
course,
these,
I wanted to go chaos. I,
yeah,
I knew I had a feeling that you were going to be more of
I'm
like
chalky
the greats right now, and I was like, let's just throw some darts at a board and see what sticks.
because like 5 years from now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is still going to be one of the best players in the league. He's
Oh,
number
he's-
23 on my list. Like
He's way higher on my list.
way higher than yours. But see,
Way
again,
higher.
I think I did use a bit of a war-based assessment in my mind.
Yes.
Where like I know a guy like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Like he'll probably put up more 140, 150 WRC plus seasons. It's just he's as a first base defender, who's first base. Some people his defense there, people kind of debate that, but he's just never going to be like a 6-7 win player, which I have a lot of the guys above here. But when he's 25 now, so he'll be 30, 31 years old.
He will be
26 now.
31 5 years from now. That's what I have written down.
He'll easily still be a guy that, again, is putting up 30 homers with a 300 average. If he's doing that, he's easily one of the top 25 most valuable players in the league.
Yeah, and again, this is just me. I love hitting, which is why I have him a little bit higher on. Well, actually, not. I have him a lot higher on this list. But at number
Hero.
23, I've got Fernando Tatis Jr., who will be 31. I think there will be just years and years and years. I don't know if he's ever going to go back to that MVP level truly that we saw of the past, but you're going to see a guy who's like 125, 130 WRC plus every single season, playing good defense out in the outfield. It's just going to be a consistently good player, almost one of those guys who I think 5 years from now could even be a little underappreciated because he's not doing the incredible highs, but there are no lows with his game whatsoever.
I think you might be one of the people underappreciating him right now because
I think
I think
you're the guy who loves him more than most in baseball right now.
Again, this past year, just to stick with talking about WAR, like he was top 10 in all of baseball in WAR for hitting.
Yes,
like
yeah, no, he was great.
There were still times this year where you were like, it really doesn't seem like Fernando Tatis Jr. looks like himself. And at the same time, he's a 370 on base guy playing amazing corner outfield defense. It's like his floor is so remarkably high at this point that there's no way he falls off lists like that. Right?
He'll only be 31. So
yeah, so I have him a few spots higher, not too much higher, but now I kind of have this trio of outfielders now that he will lead. But first up, number 22 for me, Jackson Chourio, just because
I had him higher.
You had him higher too, yeah. I know a step's going to happen. It's similar conversation as we just had about Pete Armstrong. Chourio's nowhere close to the level of defender, but for Chourio, like I'm really anticipating that there's going to be big strides taken with him at the plate. The fact that he's still 21 years old, he just put up 2 2020 seasons in his first 2 years in the league. Like this little sophomore slump, I think it could give way to kind of any moment him becoming an unquestioned superstar. And I just think that it's like a baseline median outcome. Like he still will be a borderline top 20 player in 5 years.
Yeah, no, I think that I have him a little bit higher, and I'll talk about him a little bit more. At my number 22 spot, I had Rock Chalowski, I believe is how you pronounce his name. This dude's a ball player. Sophomore season.
Mark, tell us who he is.
Shortstop, UCLA. He's going to be the number 1 draft pick in the next draft. Like, it's pretty unanimous right now. I think that he's the best player in college. He's going to be the number 1 overall pick. Feels like a guy that's going to move quickly through the minors. 5 years from now, this is me being aggressive. But the idea that he's being comped to like a Troy Tulowitzki type player, he's got legit pop, a guy who could be a 25 to 30 home run guy, either at shortstop or third base. Feels like someone who's going to be in that top 25 conversation if all things go right. And again, this is why I went chaos. This is why I went nuts. I wanted to throw some different guys here at the bottom because this is where we can have some fun. And I think Rock could be one of those guys that's a budding superstar 5 years from now after a couple years in the minors.
Totally. I'm curious how many guys you had on this list that haven't played the game of Major League Baseball yet. Because I only had one on my list. He actually does come in significantly higher. But I went, again, a little bit safer with some of these picks. How many do you have?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4
4?
guys. Yeah.
All right, I'm curious who those other two are.
We've already named 2 of them, so.
Okay, that's true. I know who one of them is. So I'm curious who the last one is. But again, still playing very safe. I'm curious if you have this guy on your list or if he's just much higher. 21 for me is Wyatt Langford.
I have him higher. I have him much higher.
I do think that, I don't know, offensive ceiling wise, I think it's still quite high. But in terms of someone who's just going to be a corner outfield defender, because it seems like at this point he's not going back to center field.
Although he might maybe because that outfield is weird. Again, where I have him is banking on he goes to center field and he's going to be an elite defender in center field as well.
I am just curious about where a guy like Wyatt Langford, like how he's ever able to find something like a 900 OPS season, which is what I was looking for if I wanted to put him inside like my top 15 or something. And I considered that, but just the guys I have above him, I see offensive profiles that can carry someone to get like near an MVP race, where to me, Wyatt Langford's going to just be this super secure. Like he's a different version of Fernando Tatis to me. You know what
That's
I mean?
fair. Yeah.
But like he's definitely not like the sexy version like Fernando
No.
Tatis is.
He's the boring white guy. Yeah.
Way less flash, but seems like he's going to be like 30-30 with a 260 average in perpetuity.
Yeah, and I think that, there's that alone there puts you pretty high up if you can be a 30-30 guy. So
almost top 20.
yeah, we'll definitely see what's going on with him. I have him a little bit higher. 21, I have your boy, James. You're a catcher guy. You like Carter Jensen. Number 21. I had to put one catcher on this list. There's always a catcher in the top 25, and I think 5 years from now, very well could be the best catcher. What we saw him do in the small sample last year was phenomenal, and it seems like the defense is going to improve, has improved. So if you're a just even league average catcher defensively and hit like he's shown he can, 5 years from now with growth, I think he could be a borderline top 20 player.
Especially if he goes to the Salvador Perez school of catching and he kind of
Yes.
gets a little bit of that defense sauce from Salvi. But I had him and 2 other catchers as my honorable mention just missed guys. I had a trio of catchers. So I'm like, one of these guys or all of these guys wind up being studs who kind of get onto this list in the future. But catchers weird to project. My number 20,
hard.
Fernando Tatis. Some of the reasons we said, I kind of looked at him, Langford, and Churio. We're just like, who do I believe in the most? While Tatis has the most red flags and question marks compared to those guys, given his injury and just suspension history and his commitment history and the entire history of the last 5 years of
Just being Fernando Tatis, yeah.
just everything about him. But it's still just like it just doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. And the fact that we have seen him reach the highs that he may never reach again probably does still give me some bias in my mind to put him ahead of that group.
No, I like that. Number 20, I've got a glut now of 3 pitchers that we're going to rattle off here in a row from you. At number 20, I've got Hunter Green.
Yeah.
He'll be 30 years old, probably not going to be on the Reds anymore when this.
No, the contract.
I know, but they might trade him.
Trade
If they're for floating trades right now, I think there's a good chance they could trade him in 5 years.
That's not real. They're not floating those trades.
Well, regardless, I think he's going to be off the Reds in 5 years. I think they're going to trade him, and I think he's just going to be simply one of the best pitchers in baseball. This stuff's ridiculous. If he just pitched more innings, he's going to be in the Cy Young conversation last year. So I think 5 years from now, we'll see a really, really sharp, polished version of Hunter Green.
5 years from now, if Hunter Green keeps moving on the same trajectory that he is right now, he will be an unrestricted free agent.
Oh, so there we go.
So that could be a fun thing. He just missed mine too. I was between him and Chase Burns at the end. I kind of just wanted to have fun with Chase Burns.
Yeah.
Figured we talk about Hunter Green at some point. I also had a pitcher. Oh, I was your 20. So me, number 19 is my first pitcher here. Second pitcher. I forgot Chase Burns. All over the place. Brian Wu. I love Brian Wu.
Yeah, I didn't have him.
Brian Wu might win the Cy Young this year. Brian Wu, as long as he stays healthy, like he just has everything a pitcher needs. It's unshakable command. It's an incredible demeanor and tenacity on the mound. Like I think that everything that we can see from Brian Wu athletically and then just pitch design wise, velocity, he has everything you need. By that time, he'll be 31 years old, really kind of probably getting into his final form as a pitcher while still having the high end velocity. He wouldn't have gone downhill yet there. To me, he's like one of the most perfect pitchers in the league, and I think he'll still be considered that in 5 years.
Yeah, I did not have him on my top 25. I'll be honest, he was on my original list, but he was also one of my first to get off. Not again because of a lack of quality of Brian Wu. I think I'm just not as hyped on him. I want to see what this kind of pitcher looks like in 5 years, too.
Yeah.
For a guy who's relatively just come onto the scene and had great success, but also has dealt with these kind of nagging injuries here and there. I am interested to see what Wu looks like in 5 years. He's still sick, though. I don't think that's a bad ranking. 19, I had Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He'll be 31 years old. I mean, I think I don't think there's any slowing down for him. He's just simply one of the best pitchers of baseball. And 5 more years of pitching here with this ball and this atmosphere and pitching for the Dodgers like he has, why would he not be a top 20 guy?
He was a just miss for me because I get a little bit scared of pitchers who are that small sometimes.
That's fair.
And that was kind of a big thing to me to push him just barely off my rankings. Now, I got another run of position players here. Number 18, Jackson Merrill.
I did not have him on mine.
Okay, wow. Jackson Merrill hater. It's
not a hater. He just last year worried me a little bit. It was a not great season. He looked as good as he was rookie year, which would, like, after his rookie year, yeah, I would have argued top 10 player in the league. Last year being that step back, I know he dealt with some injuries. I want to see more out of Merrill next year.
The concussion was weird for Merrill. It made him like kind of scared to steal bases. It seemed like he wasn't stealing bases early in the year anyway because he was dealing. I might be misremembering if he was dealing with a lower body thing early, but he got a concussion from a glove being slapped on his head in a stolen base attempt. I think it was his second stolen base attempt of the year, and then he didn't do that after that. He ended the season scalding hot. Yes. I think that was something by him just getting his sea legs back under him and kind of what you said, but interpreting it the exact opposite way. The fact that he had a bad year where everything went wrong and it was still a 770 OPS and really good defense in center field for a position he still only played for 2 years now. It's like, okay, this guy, the ceiling is kind of unmatched for Jackson Merrill, and we probably do wind up with a little bit of a safer version of a guy like PCA. Defense will never get to the same heights, but like I'm looking at 30 homers from a great defensive center fielder in perpetuity.
Yeah, he was someone that just missed my list. Couldn't find a way to get him on there. At
I tried to
number
get him
8,
higher.
At number 18, I had Yuri Perez. I know that's your guy. He's
was
gonna be
just
20.
nice.
He's gonna be 27 years old. He's gonna have 500, 600, 700 innings hopefully underneath his belt by the time he turns 27 in 5 years from now. And based on what we have seen in the small sample, there's absolutely no reason why he can't be not just a top 20 player in baseball, maybe an argument for one of the best pitchers in the entire league. I think that the ceiling's incredibly high with him.
He was my last cut. I went Chase Burns just over him for the last spot. I was going to be one of them. I didn't know who was going to be. And I'm happy you mentioned Yuri because even just coming off Tommy John surgery last year, he came back. And it did take a little bit while to get his sea legs, but you could just see the tantalizing potential. I think sometimes we don't even realize the guy's 6'7".
He's so big.
You miss that on television, how big this guy actually is and how much he kind of strides down the mound coming at you as a hitter. But my number 17, again, we're just sticking with the guys who are the best players in baseball now who will still be 5 years from now. Ronald Acuna Jr. Like, he's just...
Didn't have him.
What, scared of the injuries?
He's going to be 33 and he's going to have torn 2 ACLs. I can't imagine that he keeps up top 25 player production when he's 33 years old. That's my biggest worry is it seems unlikely for a guy who's blown out both knees in his mid-20s that 5 years from now his knees are going to be feeling really good.
But I think at that point, he'd still just be a corner outfielder with a cannon for an arm and be one of the best power hitters in the league still. Like,
there's a chance.
I even tried to look at it this year about, like, am I overrating some guys who will be entering their 30s? If you pull up this year's, like, top 20 hitters by WAR, it's littered with guys in their early 30s.
For
I think that Ronald Acuna Jr. 5 years from now, it's not. I assumed you'd actually have him higher. I thought you might give me some slack for putting him here at 17. I think he's just this year is going to be a big, like, fuck you tour for Ronald Acuna Jr.
He is going to win the National League MVP this year.
I'm excited to see. I'm not excited as a Mets fan, of course, but as objective baseball fan, I'm excited to watch what he can do as he gets healthy again. But there's ample risk here just because of the injury stuff. That's why him and Tatis are kind of kindred spirits of the night at this point in their career.
I don't know how many 33-year-olds in the history of the world have torn both their ACLs and do much athleticism, let alone play a professional sport at a top level. That's what I get worried about with him. That's why he didn't make it.
Yeah, totally fair.
17 for me, Corbin Carroll. He's going to be 29 years old. I honestly probably should have put him higher in retrospect here. I think Corbin Carroll is a borderline top 10 player in baseball right now.
He was my 16.
The power is ridiculous. The speed is ridiculous. The glove is fantastic. He's got a cannon of an arm. He's truly a 5-tool player. I love Corbin Carroll. And honestly, I actually should have put him higher. I think this is too low by my own rankings.
Yeah, you're going back through. You're like, this wasn't okay. So he was my number 16. So funny enough, right there, bang bang.
I said too low. 16. There you go. One higher. 16 for me.
Perfect.
Shohei Ohtani, 35-year-old Shohei, still going to be a top 20 player.
And so much higher.
I don't think he's going to be able to pitch and hit. And I think when you're a 30, he has to slow down at some point. Has to, because he's a human. He has
kind
to.
Of.
At some point, he's going to be worse than he is right now. And I think 35, putting him just outside the top 15, I feel okay saying that Shohei Ohtani at age 35 is going to be like an 870 OPS DH. And that's probably a top 15 player.
I assume that he will still keep pitching in some capacity. I have him so much higher in this list because I think we're at a point where we can't really doubt anything about Shohei Ohtani at this point. So I'm really not trying to. I just kind of want to take it in there. He was like much higher on my list.
I mean, listen, I think if you said he was going to be the number 1 player in 5 years, that's not crazy at all. We've never seen it, and that part of my brain just can't get past the idea of like being 35 and doing something that we've never seen.
Yeah, all true there. So similar ilk, my number 15. I bet you left this guy off your list was Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge is off my list, correct?
Because even as a 38-year-old, which he'll be then, or 39,
38 feels crazy.
He's just unless it's like it ends in a snap for Aaron Judge. Like the fact that he's this old and doing this well now, like it's kind of Barry Bondsian. And I think that the way that Barry Bonds was able to sustain a prime of just making the best swing decisions ever and being the strongest guy in the field at all times, like Judge will be able to do similar things even without the performance-enhancing drugs. Like we just saw the best year of his career.
The thing that scares me about Judge is that
the big guy's old thing.
And the fact that like we have seen 2 of the greatest right-handed hitters in baseball in the last like 20 years, guys like Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols fall off a cliff when they hit 35. That's the only reason I hold him off here. If there is somebody who will beat the age curve, it is probably this 6'8" freak of nature that hits the ball harder than almost anyone we've ever seen. That would be the guy. I find it unlikely that at 38 he's anything but a DH, honestly.
Yeah, I guess. And even if he's still a DH, like that was the exact same logic you just used with Shohei. Like Aaron Judge at 38,
sure.
probably a 900 OPS, 35 homer DH.
I'll take the under on 900 OPS. I'll take the under on 850 OPS at 38.
That might be a future stake bet for Mark and James because I just think
Check back in 5 years on the windup.
If Aaron Judge plays baseball, like he won't have an 850 OPS. Like I just can't. The fact that he's this old right now and seeing no downturn whatsoever. Again, like maybe
how old is he?
He's 33.
Okay.
32.
Yeah, I mean, like
maybe if it just hits him hard between 36 and 37, but I couldn't. Looking at what he's done in the last 2 years, I couldn't not have him on this list. I had to have him in the top 15 even.
Again, I think Aaron Judge is having a better like chunk right now than these players. But like looking at Miggy, like Miggy's last good year was when he was 33. I'm not saying Judge is going to be bad next year, by the way. Not saying that at all.
Look what those two looked like though. What your eyes tell you.
For sure, I understand. But like the idea is that these guys are still some of the greatest hitters, right-handed hitters to ever play the game. And then after that, like, there were injuries that played in. As you get older, your body just doesn't move the same way. And I do think for a bigger guy, it's just, I think it's going to be very difficult at 38.
I'm excited to see if he can just buck those trends.
Now, if he does, holy shit.
Yeah, because he might. Like, he's like,
yeah.
If he does, he's a pro. If he does 5 more years and he just goes down like 10% less production each of the next 5, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes.
He's that good. And I will not bet against the guy at this point. No,
I'm not doing it for 2026 or 2027 or 2028.
2029 is the year.
When 2030 comes around, come knock on my door. Let me know how it looks.
I will. We're checking. 850 OPS on Aaron Judge in 2030 is the bet.
Yeah, I'll take the under.
There you go. Who's your 14?
14 for me is your boy, Mr. Kurtz, Nicholas.
Way higher.
Yeah, I got him. Again, it's the funny thing of like the first base accumulation. I am also a little bit afraid just because there was so much swing and miss. Where I think
you mean like Aaron Judge?
Yeah, of course, but you know Aaron Judge is a little different. But Mr. Kurtz, I mean, 14 is still unbelievably good. That's kind of like where I've had Freddie Freeman hover in the past 3 years, who's a different way to be this great of a hitter. There's going to be a lot of adjustment this year for Mr. Kurtz. I want to see how he adjusts before I go absolutely nuclear. We're saying he's like going to be a top 10 player in the game.
Oh, that's what I did. So just a preview
That's
for
fair.
that. My number 14 is someone who I think I'm doing what you just did with Nick Kurtz, but in the same way for a different player, is James Wood.
I didn't have him on mine.
Really? Oh, I still think
in years
you are the James Wood guy.
I know, and I just got worried with the fact that one, he's so god awful in the outfield, horrendous, terrible out there. I don't think he's ever going to get better in the outfield. That's the thing I'm worried about. He's going to hit, I think, but it's getting more murky. And projecting him out 5 years from now, I really have no idea. But yeah, like I think there's a world where James Wood's a top 5 player in 5 years from now.
He still, to me, like hasn't even really learned to hit.
I mean, probably hasn't. I think that's very fair to say.
Like James Wood this year grinded himself to 31 homers and 825 OPS, where he had 2 months where he was basically unplayable offensively. It seems like he was just literally tired. Where at the same time, he still has no idea how to pull a ball in the air.
No
if he
clue.
if he ever figures out how to pull fly balls in the air, like this is 50 homers basically every single year, perpetuity.
For sure.
If only there were comps to right now some of the best players in baseball,
who could do this?
Corner outfielders who didn't play good defense, and if only there were some guys like that who exist right now. And like the James Wood, the swing decisions also are amazing.
Of course.
I don't even care about the 30% strikeout rate because of how good the batted ball quality is. But if there's incremental improvements, and these are things that happen when a guy ages, like we have tons of data going back to as a player gets older. I mean, at least until they get old, like he'll be 28 in 5 years.
Yeah, he'll be still in his prime, very much so.
Your strikeout rate will trend downward, and your pulled fly balls will trend upward. If he does that on a normal aging curve for the next 5 years, and we're looking at basically near league average in both, the strikeout rate probably still worse than league average. Again, I see like a 40 homer floor year to year on James Wood, and for something like that,
I can totally see it. It's just again, it's one of those where I think there is a huge range of outcomes, though, especially because again,
that's fine. Yeah,
he's not going to be an outfielder. There's just absolutely no way. We're talking about a 23-year-old who can't play the outfield a lick right now.
He also could. I mean, he still has a good arm. Like a good arm will keep him in
Does
the outfield.
he? I thought his arm's a noodle.
No, it's good arm. It's basically rated the same as strength-wise Corbin Carroll. So it's basically the same thing.
All right.
And I'll say this about James Wood: if he's just a first baseman in 4 years, like great. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, no, he should be a first.
Be awesome,
He-
yeah.
Talk about a big target over there. I love James Wood. It pained
He's a
me.
righty in the field, though. I think that's something that might stop him from first base. But
He was one of my last cuts. I was like, ugh. Like, I hate to do it, but
I tried to sneak him into the top 10, but now I'm curious. You're 14. We're starting to really diverge here. This is
number
fun.
13, number 13.
Oh, 13, yeah.
13, I've got Jesus.
Wood was my 14.
I said Mr. Kurtz at 14. Did I not say my
Oh.
15?
You might not, who's your 15?
Jackson Churio.
You missed him. You said Otani for 15.
Oh, Otani was 16. Churio,
Oh, okay,
15.
all right.
That's Jackson
Reset,
Churio.
Kieran,
Put
reset.
it on the screen. Jackson Churio, top 15 player. I just think there's going to be a big jump up for him at some point. Again, he's 21.
Yeah,
It's crazy. All
talked about
right,
him before.
13, another Brewer. Jesus Made.
Yeah.
Let's get crazy. What this guy has done so far is nuts. We need to see some power development, but here's the thing, guys. He was 18 last year, so he's just going to get stronger as he gets older. 5 years from now, he'll be 23 years old, and he might have 4 full seasons of Major League Baseball underneath his belt. He is so ridiculously good. If he can get to like 20 home run power, this is a borderline top 10 player in the league.
Yeah, Jesus Made was basically my last cut position player-wise. Just because, again, it's hard for me to project guys who haven't played in the majors yet, but he easily could be. He kind of has some of the highest exit velocities we've ever had read for an 18-year-old, ever, which is kind of crazy to say. And the funny thing is, he's not even a big guy. It's just he's so unbelievably twitchy. Like, if a guy like Jesus Made was born in this country, what an unbelievable athlete gadget player he'd be in college football. Like, this would be Malachi Tony. Like, that's the kind of athlete he is.
If he was born in this country, man, he would go 6th overall to a team that didn't want to pay the big the big thing at number 1, the big signing bonus.
He's truly unbelievable. Again, just missed my list. And as him being a shortstop will lift this up, especially seeming like he'll be a plus defensive one. My 13, another pitcher. Have back-to-back pitchers coming here. Garrett Crochet. It's just
He's a little higher.
He's going to cruise his way to being, as long as the health stays up. It is something that we've now collectively kind of had the amnesia of Garrett Crochet's durability because of the one super healthy season he just had. Definitely something could easily go wrong there for Garrett Crochet health-wise. So don't clip this, Red Sox fans, if something does go wrong. But if health winds up not being an issue, he could be the best pitcher in baseball this season.
Yeah,
he doesn't get that shine because of Skeens and Skubal, but he's got everything.
I think when those guys right now are 1A, 1B, Crochet is the clear number 3. There is no doubt he's the 3rd best pitcher in baseball.
I also think it's fair to say that it's 1A, 1B, 1C. I just don't think that Crochet gets that credit. I don't really know why, because he's even in a park that helps offense, especially for right-handed batters. As a left-handed pitcher, he still had one of the lowest ERAs, one of the lowest whips, got over 200 innings, 250 strikeouts. He does everything. He throws gas. He's got great repertoire. He keeps building on. He's kind of got the old school ace horse mentality while also doing the new school pitch development, the way he's been able to keep himself healthy. There's nothing wrong with Garrett Crochet at all.
At number 12, I went with Wyatt Langford. He'll be 28 in 5 years from now. We talked about him a little bit earlier. I think there's a world where he could stick in center field, and that's what I'm banking on, putting him right outside the top 10 here. The fact that he has, to talk about WAR, put up these big WAR seasons despite playing left field is already pretty intriguing to me.
He plays it really well.
Yeah, he plays it unbelievably well, so I want to see what he can do in center. And honestly, if Brandon Nimmo could have an elite defensive year in center field, I think Wyatt Langford definitely could be, because he's a premier athlete. And when you could put a guy like that in center field, I'll take that chance every single day.
So this being 5 years from now when he's 28, we might just miss the center field crescendo for Wyatt Langford.
There is a world.
You could just miss it. 3 years from now, you might be able to pull this ranking off. But 5 years from now, I'm not sure. And again, we talked about him before. He's fantastic. But I do wonder where... I think there's a perception about Wyatt Langford as a hitter that he hasn't matched yet. And of course, he's still only 2 years in the league. He skipped all of the minor leagues. But can he hit more than 35 homers? Probably not. Can he have much more than 275 average?
Yeah.
Probably not. There is probably a world where he gets up to again a 360, 370 on base percentage, but then he is just Fernando Tatis Jr., which is why I struggle to really put him ahead of Fernando Tatis Jr.
Fair. I think that's totally fair. I'm thinking there's going to be a little more upside with him. Let's see what he can come to. Number 11, James, who you got just missing on the top 10?
You keep jumping around. This is my number 12.
You didn't do your 12?
No, Garrett Crochet was 13.
Oh, okay,
did you skip someone again?
No, I said it.
My 12 was Tarek Skubal. Again, putting these
yeah.
guys right next to each other, I think Skubal in his 30s, I just don't think we're going to see anything go wrong. I think he's going to wind up having the next 5 years like we saw Verlander and Scherzer have in those mid-30s. Cool. When he's 34 years old, there's just no reason he can't be one of the best pitchers in the league. I think he will continue to be.
It's pitching in particular is the one that I have such a hard time imagining what a guy looks like in 5 years.
To me, where it's someone like him added the new weapon 2 years ago that got him to this level, and he's continued to add velocity in a healthy manner. It's like, by that point, we have to see when we get to the top of the velocity to see when the velocity starts to come down, and that will start to diminish a guy like Tarek Skubal's ceiling. But I don't think the velocity's even peaked yet. So I think that we're going to sit 98 this year. By this time, he's probably still sitting 96, which is higher than he sat any year of his career before 2024. Like, there's just this seems like there's no stopping this train.
What do you got at number 11?
Number 11, Junior Caminero.
Higher on my list.
Nice. This next crew of hitters I have, I almost could have put them in any order, and I gave some credence to the vets in my top 5. But like this guy's such a freak.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He made it higher on mine. Just the fact that at 21 he put up those 40 homers. I think there might be a little step back just because, again, it's going to be a little less friendly to hit in the Trop as it was George Steinbrenner Field, but probably still hits 40 home runs a year even still.
The 40 homer under 22 years old club. I think it was Caminero, Mel Ott, Eddie Matthews, and Ronald Acuna Jr. I think that's the squad.
Pretty good group.
He's the epitome of like what these teams and these clubs are like shooting for now, where it's like no one swings the bat harder than Junior Caminero in baseball. No. Like besides O'Neal Cruz, who can't convert it into anything else, but Junior Caminero is just. There was some chatter in the analytics community about like Junior Caminero's bat path maybe stopping him from reaching in-game power, because when he played, he got almost 200 plate appearances in 2024. He had 6 homers.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, he can't lift the ball enough. He's not pulling the ball enough. There's something that will come with age. And all of a sudden, he's like, I don't give a fuck.
He's like, I'm going to start doing it.
I'm blasting 45 under your nose. You're not going to be able to do anything about it. Like now we just have to iron out some swing decision stuff a little bit, and all of that becomes gravy. Like
probably needs to learn how to play third base too.
He does. He's good enough athlete. He'll try. He has major league appearances as shortstop.
That's crazy.
Which is funny as hell. But like he'll be good enough at third base to like maintain like a top 10 WAR ceiling floor for 5 years.
Yeah, my number 11 was Garrett Crochet. We spoke about him, all the same reasons. I have him as the number 2 pitcher in baseball 5 years from now. Number 10. Who do you got there, James? Get your top 10 started.
This is your boy. I'm sure you have him higher. Roman Anthony.
Roman Anthony's way higher. Yeah, that's my guy.
I mean, Roman Anthony he's going to be one of the best hitters in baseball, and he's going to play what probably will wind up being quite good defense in the corner outfield. He'll never be good enough to be a center fielder. So again, I used a bit more of a WAR-centric method going about this. Like, it'll just keep him from being an 8-9 WAR player unless he is Juan Soto, which he might be. It's possible. It's possible he's just white Italian Juan Soto, but he's going to be so good. The fact that he had the 400 on base percentage as a 21-year-old rookie is like, where's it? Again, that's white Italian Juan Soto. But like,
I was supposed to say, I love the Italian Juan Soto nickname. That's fantastic.
That's possibly what he could wind up being. So this was kind of a bet that maybe he's not fully Juan Soto, but he's like 80% of him.
What's really funny is my number 10 is Dominican Juan Soto.
Juan Soto.
Juan Soto at number 10. He's gonna be 31 in 5 years. That's crazy. That's nuts. And you know what? He's probably still gonna have like a 400 on base percentage. Probably still hit 30, 35 home runs a year. Maybe even still hitting 40 home runs. He's gonna be one of the best players in baseball. He just might be a DH at this point.
I'd want Soto higher on my list.
Wow. Okay, I like it.
Way higher on my list. But yeah, I think at that point, he'll just be like a good defensive first baseman.
Hey, listen, I'm in. I'm down.
Like, why not? So my number 9, Ellie De La Cruz.
I have Ellie higher.
There's been some chatter about Ellie De La Cruz in the media recently. I don't think people are, 1, being fair to the young man, or 2, really understand like the massive talent that we're seeing here. Like,
are you talking about Zach Cozart?
Yeah, I'm talking about Zach Cozart talking shit about Ellie De La Cruz playing shortstop. But also, it really started out with the John Boy guys doing it, and like it was just kind of like a stupid competition. But like Ellie De La Cruz, I know this year was a bit of a disappointment. It was a significant disappointment because when you saw him take the step from his first year to his second year, it kind of felt like he was one step behind Bobby Wood Jr.'s progression. So you kind of want 24-year-old Ellie De La Cruz to take that big step and become an MVP candidate. He didn't do it. He kind of got stuck in mud. Where at the same time of being stuck in mud, like he fixed a lot of the things, not fixed, but he improved a lot of things that people kind of gave him some slack for. Like he finally got that strikeout rate to a manageable spot. Like that was a big deal for Ellie De La Cruz. And he still is so awful from the right side as a hitter.
Really
I hope one day he maybe just changes that, because this past year he was still like 25, 30% better than league average at the plate as a lefty. And from the right side, against left-handed pitchers, he was like a 60 WRC plus guy. He was terrible. He's basically Jose Siri out there. So it's like, I do wonder if that gets ironed out. And it does feel like sometimes with Ellie, the defense thing comes down to focus. And you can't give
overblown too.
You can't give a guy a pass for that. But like he he always leads the league in errors because he gets to every single ball, and sometimes he just really doesn't get those throwing mechanics down. He sails a lot, so we might get some flack for this. In fact, you rate him higher. I just think this is still one of the most unquestionable great talents we have in the game right now, and I'm excited to see his growth further.
Talk about an eye test. I feel like you watch that guy play
your
baseball.
eyes tell you.
Yeah, you watch that guy play baseball, and you're like, that's a special player. They don't make him like this. This is once in a every 10, 15 years type of guy. The fact that he is that strong, that fast, that good of an arm. He's 5 tools. He's got them all. And I think one of the reasons, or something that I should say, something that I want Ellie De La Cruz to go back to a little bit. I feel like last year at times, kind of try to stay within himself. I want loose Ellie De La Cruz. I want crazy horse. I want nonsense. I want him swinging out of his shoes. I don't care about, like, the strikeout rate going down was good, but it 100% affected his power and his effectiveness of what he does. I think what makes Ellie De La Cruz great is that he can do the damage. I don't want to see him take the foot off the brake at all.
He definitely was
Or off the
trying
gas,
to strike.
my bad.
Yes, we want the foot off the brake,
Yeah.
off the brake, on the gas.
Yes, exactly.
He did seem like, though, he made a lot of those changes because there was noise about strikeouts. It might have been people in the room there with the Reds being like, hey, we want you to strike out less often. And again, like, there's a future here for Ellie where he probably can settle in as like a 28% strikeout guy, but get that raw power back and get something near 30 homers. And also,
he has the power to be a guy who could hit 40 homers.
He still had almost a 340 on base percentage, and it still doesn't feel like he's ready. He really knows what he's doing up there every time he's in the box. Like, the raw talent's taken to that point, and I think some people are getting frustrated with him because the word's going around that he declined that $250 million contract, which would have been the highest in Reds history. Where at the same time, the highest contract in Reds history. It doesn't really mean a lot, but
that's like saying I'm the tallest guy on the windup. Doesn't really mean
right.
much.
Couple short guys. I have the brightest shirt in the windup. Look at these pastel bros, but like he shouldn't accept that contract.
Absolutely not.
It's good for him that he didn't, and against
Los Angeles Dodgers shortstop at future.
Oh, don't say that. Come on, Mets. But he's so good. I'm excited to see where you have him ranked.
Yeah, I have him a little higher. At number 9, I went with Vlad Guerrero Jr. The only reason I gave him the slight nod ahead of Soto is at some point in our lifetime, Vlad is going to learn to hit the ball in the air.
Maybe.
And as soon as he does, he's going to hit 60 home runs. It's that simple. He hits the ball way too often and way too hard to not be someone who puts up a ridiculous amount of power. And he already does. The numbers are ridiculous. He makes such good contact all the time. He just pounds it into the ground. If he hits the ball in the air, like he did that one year when they played in the minor league ballpark, you're going to see video game numbers. And I think in 5 years' time, he will learn to do that.
I think with Vlad, it might be an ain't broke, don't fix it situation. Like,
it's possible. I would never say, Vlad Guerrero Jr., you need to make a change. But I think there just might, you talked about it a little bit too, like guys do just end up pulling the ball a little bit more, all these kind of things. Like it might just be an aging curve.
Which is funny for him because it felt like that would have happened by now. But the fact that we've been consistent, he had a jump with it and it's gone back down. Like I think that maybe he's one guy that could buck that trend of like that the data tells us. Also, it's very clear that he went to the David Popkins School of Bat Speed last year. Because the fact that he jumped up his bat speed a full mile an hour. I like the baseball savant says the bat speed distributions, and you could see a very much increased average swing speed in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on the chart that they do on their website, which is a great visual aid here. But he's amazing. I see that.
Where'd you have him ranked?
I had him much lower because I had 23, but I still think he's. Again, I still think he's going to be elite hitter, like one of the 10 best hitters. But I was thinking more, holistic value on this list.
That's fair. Listen. That's why what's great. You get to hear two different takes on this. Who do you got at number 9?
I had Elliott number 9.
Oh,
my number 8, Gunnar Henderson.
Gunnar is one spot at number 7, so we're in the same
go.
range. I mean, Gunnar will be 29 years old 5 years from now, and I know last year I think left a sour taste in some people's mouth because the power wasn't there, the overall numbers weren't, but the prior 2 years, what a ridiculous first couple seasons for Gunnar Henderson. He was one of the 6, 7 best players in baseball.
And to me, he's kind of like the safe version of Ellie De La Cruz, which is
So
why, again,
safe.
for me at least, that's why I put him a spot ahead because he's going to play. I mean, last year's defense wasn't even that good at shortstop. I still believe he'll play very good defense at shortstop. By this time, he'll be 29. He'll still be playing shortstop, hopefully slightly above average at that point. But the bat is just, to me, it seems like no risk. Like it's clear that oblique injury kind of knocked him off his spot to start last season. And then by the time he was probably 100% healthy, which was mid-May-ish, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, that Orioles team was a disaster. And a guy like Gunnar Henderson, who had displayed like so obviously like a guy who's capable of making the best swing decisions in the sport, never expanding the zone. We hear veterans talk a lot about when a team is falling apart, wanting to do more, wanting to try and like get your team back on track with one swing. We heard Aaron Adam Goldschmidt talk about this a lot 2 years ago when that Cardinals team fell apart. Really, those guys are just over the hill. But Gunnar expanding the zone last year, that was very uncharacteristic, and it seems like it might have been some kind of reaction to how poorly the team season was going. So I think that we see that trend back up this year when he's back within himself, comfortable, and we probably see another, again, 35-25 season with a 370 on base percentage.
Yeah, no, Gunner's a special player. I had him at number 7. My number 8, you mentioned him already, Junior Caminero. Again, silly. He will be 26 years old 5 seasons from now, which is insane. I don't know. You hit 45 home runs as a 21-year-old. I feel like you're probably going to hit 40 home runs as a 26-year-old. So, like,
maybe
sign me up, Junior Caminero, top 10 player.
It is going to be fun to see what happens in the Trop because those home road splits were ugly last year.
And the stadium is tough to play in. Like, it's not a good batter's eye.
It's tough to hit in. So it is going to be interesting to see how that adjustment happens for him. Like
I think they'll have the new stadium by then, actually. So
in 5 years from now, yeah. But like Junior Caminero is a guy who I can very much see a sophomore slump.
Yes.
But again, not holding that against the guy for where he'll be in 5 years.
I guess it's technically his 3rd year, but
yeah, kind of. But that was really his first full year.
True.
Nice, he got that cup of coffee before, but whatever. 2 cups of coffee. My number 7. This is my chaos ranking. I know you have this guy higher. It's Connor Griffin.
Yeah, I have him at a couple spots higher.
Connor Griffin looks like there's growing momentum that he actually could possibly break camp with the Pirates. And the Pirates
should.
Their season is kind of going to be like determined based on if he winds up actually breaking camp for them because he's the freak of all freaks. Like when he got to the minor leagues last year, it was the slash lines are disgusting. He played 50 games in low A. He went 338, 396, 536. 51 games in high A with 325, 432, 510. And those 50 games in low A, it was 9 homers, 26 steals. The 51 games in high A, 7 homers, 33 steals. And then 21 games to end the season in double A, didn't miss a beat. Again, 337, 418, 542 with 5 homers and 6 steals. It's just like, that's a 19-year-old, your first year of professional baseball, first time out of high school. And it's like, there's no stopping you.
Yeah, Connor Griffin's higher on my list. He'll be 24 in 5 years, which is crazy. I'll talk about him a little bit more, but this guy, talk about like 10 years from now, he's probably the best player in baseball.
Dude, like he had 114 mile an hour max exit velocity in low A. Like that's better than 95% of players in Major League Baseball. Like he had eight batted balls hit harder than 110 miles an hour and 28 harder than 105 miles an hour.
Like as a 19-year-old.
No, this is like the words are disgusting raw power.
Yes, he's a guy who could literally change the Pirates organization.
I think they're planning for him to change the organization because they might have the best hitter and the best pitcher in the league in 5 years.
Yep, which will be fun to see. Although I guess maybe if they can keep Paul Skeens in 5 years.
Yeah, I guess that's actually the truth. 4 years.
Yep. All right, number 6, because I gave you my 7 being Gunnar Henderson. Number 6 for me was Ellie De La Cruz for all the reasons. I agree. Gunner's the safer Ellie. Give me the nuts. Give me craziness. Give me Ellie De La Cruz.
Someone clip that, Mark.
Give me the nuts.
Give me the nuts.
I love Ellie. I can't stop liking this guy as a player. And just the ceiling is out of control, like especially at the shortstop position. It's A-Rod type potential.
All right, so my number 6, guy that we kind of have these flipped, Nick Kurtz.
Yeah, Mr. Kurtz.
It's just like this.
A little lower on me.
This could be lefty Aaron Judge. Like
Definitely could be, yeah.
The way the guy hits the ball, and I think something else about the way that Kurtz's value will be perceived moving forward is that he's going to play in ridiculous hitters ballparks.
Yes.
For like it seems like at least the next 5 years because he has 2 more years in Souther Park in Sacramento, which just played crazy hitter friendly this year. He took advantage of that. And then we think probably still that the Athletics are moving to Vegas, and that looks like it will be again a hitter's haven if it plays anything like they play as a minor league team. So we could be looking at like over the next 5 years, like Nick Kurtz having
200 home runs.
I was gonna say 250. Like it's like I mean, again, that'd be the high end of it, but it's like there's really no stopping this guy. Like there is some pervasive swing and miss as we start to get into fantasy baseball season right now. There's like some people are like not putting him as the top first baseman, and I just can't. I mean, again, flat is flat, so he's amazing. But like the things we saw him do as a rookie were all so repeatable, and like the league had a chance to adjust, and he kind of adjusted back, and it just seems like there's really no stopping this guy whatsoever.
No, yeah. If he puts up anything even remotely close to what he did last year, he is skyrocketing up as one of the best players in baseball.
Like if he can sit near 1,000 OPS, it's like, oh, no one can really do this.
No, it's not. That's not
just you.
There's like 4 guys in the league that do it.
So even him being number 6 is kind of low, probably.
It very well could be. So that leads me to number 5 now. Top 5s.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Griffin for me, number 5.
There you go.
Yeah. Just I think that this is going to be an unbelievably good player. Again, if the Pirates put him on the opening day roster, they're making the playoffs. That's my bold take. That's my claim. I've been drinking the Pirates Kool-Aid. I'm all in. Should I be? Probably not. Feels bad to believe in the Pirates ownership, but we're doing it. Connor Griffin, the power, the speed, playing shortstop. Oh, if he doesn't work at shortstop, oh no, he'll be a phenomenal center fielder. What are we going to do? My steak is too juicy.
Or like the best third baseman in baseball. Like this feels like Julio Rodriguez, Ronald Acuna Jr. coming to the league.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of vibe we have right now. And I honestly hope he's on the field opening day just because I want to see it happen.
And it will be against the Mets.
Yeah, that would be talk about a game.
Paul Skeens, Connor Griffin, going up against every new player on the Mets.
Live on Peacock. Everyone, make sure you watch baseball on Peacock.
I think I saw a tweet. I don't remember who had it, but it was comparing like Connor Griffin. Like, in case you don't believe the hype, here are some of the guys who did similar stuff to him at his age in the minor leagues, and it was like just Juan Soto.
Yeah, like and Juan Soto didn't even have prospect pedigree at the time.
No.
But like again, just sharing that batted ball quality from Connor Griffin. Shout out to GOAT Prospect Savant. It's an amazing website, but. You know, eight batted balls harder than 110, 20 harder than 105, and 114 max. Like it's 108, 90th percentile max exit velocity. Like no one in the minor league did stuff like this.
No.
So it's kind of stupid that 1 year out of high school, not even being a top 5 pick in the draft. He was what, number 9?
Connor Griffin was, I don't remember what number he was.
Number 8, number 9. It was right at the back of the top 10.
Connor Griffin was number 9 pick. Nice call.
Yeah,
I think I remember highlighting him early to you and be like, this dude's a freak. I think the Pirates might have figured something out.
And again, happy for them they actually took that shot. But number 5 for me, I have 4 and 5, 2 guys you've already mentioned. Shohei Ohtani. I don't think it's gonna stop.
Fair.
I think he might. He might be a really good pitcher again. And like if he can just sustain doing that, like in 5 years, if he again is an 880, 900 OPS/TH and like a 3.60 ERA pitcher,
throws 40 innings.
He throws 80 innings. Like I just don't think it's going to stop. I think he's the most important player in baseball. Like if you took him off the Dodgers, I don't even know how good they are at this point. Like that's how good he is relative to like how good that team even still is without him. Like he's unquestionably by far the best player right now. I can't see him aging not gracefully.
Could you imagine having Shohei Ohtani on your roster and not making the playoffs?
Yeah, imagine him and Mike Trout not making the playoffs.
It's crazy.
He still wasn't this Shohei then. He was close to it, but
yeah.
like I talked about another video. I don't know what order these are going to come out in, but it was Alden Gonzalez and ESPN talking about Edgar Caro going to Driveline, and it was Tanner Stokey who was now the Driveline lead hitting director, and he basically said like Shohei going to their hitting program really put them on the map, and it was the fact that he was like breaking their machines. Like he would like top a ball to the opposite field, and they would like kind of shrug it off. They'd be like, "Wait a second, that was 102 mile an hour exit velocity." It's like, what's going on here? Like he was breaking their like sensor bats on them. Like there's no one like him.
No, he's like legitimately an alien.
It was hard not to put him at 1 on this. I strongly considered it.
I was just like, it was just the age thing. He has to. Then he's not from this planet.
But also, he doesn't really have to by this time.
35.
Like, kind of 35. Like Judge just did what he did at 33. It's like
That's a big difference.
Kind of, yeah. This is a big difference, but like
that James, that could be 320 games.
I guess it could be, but like it's the guy's unbelievable.
No, I don't hate your ranking by any means. I'm just giving you a little crap. My number 4, Paul Skeens, highest ranked pitcher by far. I mean, there's not really many guys who have had the start to a career that Paul Skeens has. And one of them loved drugs, and I don't think Paul Skeens does. So I'm betting that this guy is going to continue to be one of the best players and the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah, I had Skeens higher, and I got some good stats comparing Skeens and the guy you so eloquently said loves drugs and Dwight Gooden, which I think I've shared in this channel early on. But it's a great stat I love to share. My number 4, Juan Soto.
Yep.
All the reasons you said before, it's like this isn't going to stop.
No.
Like if you even tell me like 35 homers and a 420 on base percentage in perpetuity, and hopefully he gets more value because again he stops playing really bad right field, and it's a good chance that happens by then. It's just
Gold Glove first baseman.
Even how about average first baseman? How about give me Jorge Polanco level first base defense? That's all we really want from Juan Soto in 4 years at first.
That is very funny to think about. All right, number 3, James, who you got?
I love this top 3. This top 3 to me is it seems like we might have almost the exact same top 3. I think there's one swap.
Yeah, I think there's one swap.
Yeah, you're gonna have White Italian Juan Soto in there.
Of course,
but
yeah.
My number 3, Julio Rodriguez. I don't. This guy does not get the respect enough for how good he is. He's going to keep being He's going to keep being one of the best center fielders in the league. He's going to keep hitting. Also, just any growth from him as a hitter. Like, we still haven't really seen much of it yet. I feel like he still gets by on the incredible physical tools and then just kind of riding out the cold streaks that happen because the swing decisions aren't elite. And the swing decisions might never be elite. It does seem like he just loves going after pitches. He loves doing damage. And sometimes that leads, again, like the white hot crazy streaks. But sometimes it does lead to like months of kind of inactivity. Something like when you wind up under an 800 OPS like he had last year. But that will, I think, iron itself out a bit with age. And when that does, like he's as one of the best defenders in baseball, he will become one of the most consistent hitters in baseball, and he's a top 3 player for me.
Yeah, I'll go on my J-Rod diatribe in a second here. But at number 3, Italian Juan Soto, Roman Anthony. That's my guy. I've been all over him. I've been hyping him up. James knows. I've been all over Roman Anthony for a while now, and he was like one of my top players in baseball this year on my rankings. So if I'm going to think that the 21-year-old's a borderline top 20 player now, 5 years from now, I number 3 feels like a normal path for a guy who I think legitimately could be winning MVPs as soon as the next couple seasons. So Roman Anthony, I'm all about it. Put him at number 3 for me.
Yeah, Cameron, Roman Anthony is amazing. But just inside my top 10, but the back of it, just because I do wonder where I'm so curious to see where he has his like real life value comes.
Here's what I'll say, and obviously he's a different player. I'm not saying he's Aaron Judge. I'm not. But like right fielders and left fielders have won MVPs and stuff too and put up great
for sure.
years. So
and they will in the future as well. That was the first debate we had here about a few months ago. My number 2, my guy Bobby Wood Jr.
Me too. Bobby Witt, same spot.
There we go. Bang, Bobby Wood. All right, so you're number. Okay, yeah, but he's Bobby Witt's just the guy's just sick. Like at this. To me, because with Bobby Witt, he's 25 entering this year.
He'll be 35 years from now.
He'll be 30. To me, he'll just be like a souped-up version of what we've seen Francisco Lindor do the last few years, which is consistently be between like a 5.5 and 7 win player. So if Bobby Witt's between like a 6 and a 7.5 win player, like he'll be one of the 2 best players in baseball. Like kind of, especially when you don't have Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani in their primes anymore at that age, because you have 2 aliens. They're kind of stopping the shine of Bobby Witt Jr. when he should be like one of the biggest household names in sports in this country. He's such a freak. I love this guy.
Yeah, no, I love Bobby Witt for all the reasons that you mentioned. It just seems like his floor is just top 7 player in the league at the worst.
I think that's even like being kind of disrespectful to Bobby Witt Jr.
Like he's so good. He's gonna go down if he continues on this path as probably the best shortstop of all time.
Oh, like truthfully, one of the best players like in baseball. Like how many guys like him could be like 30, 40, 300 average and one of the best defenders in the sport?
Not many. You don't really find those. Obviously, like I think at some point you're just going to see the athleticism slow down a little bit, but he is so at the top tier of athleticism that even like you mentioned kind of before, like Judge of like if he gets 10%, 10%, 10%, Bobby Witt being 10%, 10% less athletic is still probably one of the 10 best athletes in the game.
And there also is like there's still an adjustment for Bobby Witt. Like Bobby Witt Jr. He like
and the
raw
fences
power.
are being moved in.
Fences are being moved in, but the raw power is foul. But he only gets to that raw power on the pull side, which is like kind of makes sense. Like he uses his athleticism. He kind of plays to the way the Royals have built their organization the last like 2 decades at this point, which is like gap to gap, run as much as you can. Bobby Witt Jr. last year only hit 3 opposite field home runs.
That checks.
Is it 4? I'm checking 4. No, I see 3. I see 3 opposite field home runs. So, and he also is a guy that lets the ball travel. Like you never really have these conversations nitpicking a guy like Bobby Witt Jr. because he puts up like 8-win seasons. But it is funny that there is an adjustment there where he could go out and get the ball out in front a little bit more
and be even better
and be a 40 homer guy like this like be Alex Rodriguez.
Yes, literally could just turn into that kind of player.
It's possible. That's why I love Bobby Witt Jr.
Number 1 for me, Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Loved him as a prospect. Everybody did. Freak. We saw that rookie season. That was unbelievable. And you're like, oh my God, like it's going to happen. He's going to be the best player in baseball in the next couple of years. Taking a few steps back, but last year, even though the OPS was under 800, still an unbelievably good year. In second half, Julio's out of control. Give me a full season. If he has a good full season, he's 900 OPS and the best defense in center field, arguably. Like he's so ridiculously
top 5.
Arguably, yeah, arguably. That's what arguable.
You might not be able to argue that.
All right, in a given year, maybe. How about 1 year in the next 5 years, he will be the best defensive center fielder.
If Pico Armstrong gets hurt, he could be the best defensive center fielder.
He's gonna crash into the ivy. He's gonna hit a brick wall, literally.
It's possible.
But yeah, like J-Rod, the power is ridiculous. The swing decisions are the biggest thing that would make me ever worry about him. I don't know. I just blindly believe that Julio Rodriguez, the build, the size, the speed, the athleticism, the power, everything tells me that it's gonna click in the next 5 years, and he's gonna be even better than he already has been.
Yeah, for sure. There's a question though about those swing decisions because we still want to make sure they happen. There was that thing a few years ago where he basically always just swung at the slider low and away.
Wasn't there a thing where umpires specifically to Julio Rodriguez were trying to basically teach him a lesson, it felt like?
There was a Baseball Prospectus piece, I think, from Julio's rookie year that said that he had an inordinate amount of called strikes on him that were not called strikes.
All I'm going to say is I'm blaming the umpires. Get the umpires right, and Julio Rodriguez is back.
It's possible. My number one is Paul Skeens. I
just can't put a pitcher one.
I can, because this is like we're watching the reincarnation of Dwight Gooden, but instead Dwight Gooden of having a drug habit and being kind of small, like he's 6'6" and ox, and the only thing he cares or eats or breathes is baseball. Like this.
Do you see the video of Livy Dunn standing in the box with the pitch from Paul Skeens?
No.
She's standing 5 feet away from home plate, like so far away. But she stood in the
Makes me
box.
scared.
I don't think I would stand in the box against Paul Skeens. And you know he's not going to miss.
No, of course. I mean, that's the craziest thing about Paul Skeens. There was a great Foolish Baseball video earlier this year. Is that like Paul Skeens is a touch pitcher. He's a command pitcher who happens to throw 100 miles an hour. Like that's just kind of the curse on him. Like I don't think people appreciate that his ERA is under 1 over 300 major league innings.
It's crazy.
It's like, can you conceive that for a second? Like he also so we talked about the comparison to Dwight Gooden before. Skeens this year was the first qualified pitcher to have a sub-2 ERA in their age 23 season or younger since Doc in that famous 1985 season. So like that is kind of the comp, and you're not going to have the volume that a guy like Doc Gooden put up in his first few years. Maybe that's one of the reasons why his career didn't go as long and as strong as it possibly could have. But like again, 320 innings, ERA under 2, WHIP under 1. Like Skeens has a lower ERA, a lower WHIP, and a higher strikeout rate than Gooden did through the first 2 full years of his career.
He's so good. Paul Skeens took a little something off his fastball this year and was just like to just be able to pitch more.
Like he's so good that he's able to make those small minor adjustments now, and he's still only 23 years old, like a full year and a half now out of college. Like he's able to kind of make those changes. He also has an unbelievably deep repertoire. He's shown a penchant for like pitchability, which is finding these new pitches. He tunnels things beautifully. Like it's a very unsung thing that like Paul Skeens can throw a splinter, which is like it's a splitter variant. You could throw it hard like a sinker, but it drops like a splitter. So pitchers like a guy like Skeens throws it, John Duran throws it. Am I missing someone else that has one? Ryan Lambert soon.
Someone else had a splinker recently too. I can't think of who it is though.
But it was Duran kind of made it famous, and Skeens is the guy who now kind of took it. And the fact that Skeens can throw that splinter and it tunnels beautifully off his fastball, his four-seamer, and his sinker, and his changeup. Like all those pitches are coming at a hitter straight at very, very different speeds, and you can't have any idea which one's coming after him.
You're guessing.
He's finding the curveball now. Like I think that he could wind up being like having a Yu Darvish wide arsenal while throwing 100 miles an hour. It's like there's no stopping him.
No, he's so ridiculously good. And again, if there was a pitcher to put at number 1, it would be that guy.
He's the one for me.
All right, guys. Oh
Wait. Honorable mentions.
Sleepers. So me and James wanted to do sleepers, guys who maybe you're not even considering right now that could be top 25 players. Maybe guys that are a little under the radar. So James, I'm going to let you go first. Give me your hitter. Give me your pitcher.
So I wanted to get a group of catchers, like I kind of said, because we know a catcher's going to be in here. Carter Jensen was one of them. I've told you guys about my affinity for Carter Jensen on this channel a few times now. 2 other catchers who I think will be in this mix moving forward: Francisco Alvarez and Drake Baldwin.
Ooh, I love that.
Those are Alvarez was close to making my list.
Really?
This is just I don't know. Like, it was probably a thing where it's like we were so close to it last year, watching what he was able to do in the second half while still being injured. And the fact that he does have the injury-prone tag, and he's deserved it through this point in his career, Francisco Alvarez, a lot of them have been freak injuries.
Yeah.
Like, it's been busting the hamate bone in his hand, like, and he rebounded from that amazingly. It was tearing his thumb ligament and slide to second base. Like, it's a lot of nonsense for him. But if it comes together, and like Drake, we saw Drake Baldwin just do it over a full season. Like, Drake Baldwin could be a 30-homer catcher if he plays okay defense. I tried to sneak Shea Langoliers on here, but he's sneaky already 28.
Yeah, he'll be old.
Which is crazy. Like, Cal Raleigh was also close to making the back end of my list, but by that time he'd be like 35. So it's hard to put Cal Raleigh in the top 25 just with the rigors of the position. But someone from that trio of catchers, I think, will be in this consideration in 5 years.
No, I like that. I think that's a good one. And then on the pitching side, who's your sleeper?
So I wanted 2 prospect pitchers who haven't debuted yet. I don't even think these guys have debuted professionally yet. They're both in last year's draft.
I think you have one of mine.
Cade Anderson.
Yep.
And Seth Hernandez.
Seth Hernandez is one of mine.
Like, Seth Hernandez is a physical freak that the Pirates drafted. Now we kind of think we should be trusting their minor league pitching development a little bit at this point, and I just think that he's just like average development from him, and he has a chance to be a top 10 pitcher in the sport. And Cade Anderson, I think, coming from LSU, if he goes to the Mariner School of Philosophy, there's nothing else he doesn't have as a pitcher.
Yeah, literally.
So I'm really ready for him to possibly be a guy who contributes to their major league depth as soon as this season.
And from the left side.
Yes, which he's again,
right? He's a lefty?
He's lefty.
Okay.
Specimen. He's got the changeup too. He's good to go.
Yeah, so my honorable mentions for the hitters. Here's going to be my real crazy one. Josh Baez, St. Louis Cardinals. He has 30 homer, 30 stolen base upside. He is a freak. He's got 70 raw power grades on Baseball America. They don't really hand those things out too often. Fun fact, all over Josh Baez when he got drafted. That's my guy. So I have to put him on there now. He's starting to get some love, and he had a really good season last year in the minors. Someone who might flirt with a little major league time if things go right for him in 2026. So I have Josh Baez on there. And then also on the hitting side of things, keep an eye out for Franklin Arias. I think the Red Sox have been doing a thing where they make these guys better hitters. They find guys who make great contact, excellent contact consistently, and they just boost swing speed. And Franklin Arias looks like he's going to stick at shortstop or at worst be a really good second baseman. I think he's going to make tons of contact, be like a 270, 280 hitter at absolute worst. And if they can get some power out of him, which again, bat speed improvements, we've seen the Red Sox do it already, I think he's somebody who could find his way relatively in this range. Now on the pitching side, to give you two guys' names, one, Chase Burns, we mentioned him earlier. I just think the upside with him is ridiculous. He might be a top 25 player next year. Like he's so good. If things click for him, it's going to be crazy. And then you mentioned Seth Hernandez. I trust the Pirates pitching development. They've been pulling guys out of that have had less, and Seth Hernandez has a lot. The stuff's crazy. I feel like he's gonna fly through the minors.
Similarly, I thought about a guy like Kevin McGonigal, who's similar nexus to what you saw about Franklin Arias there. Looks like he's going to start, probably play early in the season this year. Max Clark from the same organization. I think he's a guy who could just be great center field defense. We're talking prospects. I don't know what the future holds for Samuel Basallo defensively, but if he's able to be even a slightly below average defensive catcher, like he jumps on this list because he has true 40 homer potential in the bat. Like guys like Trey Savage and Nolan McLean got some consideration, but I think they're just a step below. Same with someone like Carson Bench. Like there's a lot of great players coming around baseball these next few years. This is a fun list to make.
Yeah, I also like if Harlan Susana ever learns how to throw strikes. He's a guy who's fun. I mean, it's a huge if. It's a massive if. But if he ever learns how to throw strikes, that's someone too. Also love your boy, Iva Arquette. I'm a big fan of him.
You're in him now?
What?
You're on Iva now?
I'm on him now. I've seen the swing.
Iva.
I've seen the build. I've seen everything. This is going to be a huge test for Marlins hitting development. I want to see what they can do in the minors with hitters.
I don't know if he's going to be a shortstop, though, at this point. He might just be a little too big to be a shortstop. I also kind of thought a little bit about one guy who I love in the low minors, like as a physical freak, Alfredo Duno.
Oh, the Reds catcher?
Like, just talk about one of the, again, like in terms of like a freak get off the bus guy, it's like, geez, what's going on with this
he's
dude?
a dude.
And then Eduardo Quintero is in a similar boat for me,
Yes.
where he might be like a better version of Andy Pages, who was a 4-win player, as like not even that good of a rookie this past year.
What's crazy is that there's probably so many guys that are currently playing that are just going to be in this top 25, and I'm sure, especially on my list,
That's what I'm saying.
unbelievably aggressive with just putting some random young guys on here. But that's what's fun. I want to live in a dream world. MLB The Show, A+ potential. They're going to be great in 5 years from now. But I'd love to know who you guys think should be in the top 25 5 years from now. Down in the comment section below. 5 years from now on the Windup, I guarantee you, if we're still making videos on this channel, we will react to our rankings 5 years from now. So whatever you need to do, subscribe. That's what you need to do so you don't miss out on that video 5 years from now. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Draft Nick Mark. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.